Oh, okay. Is it all right if I sit?
Yeah.
It's all right. Hi, my name is Giovana Terentino. I'm here at the Delgado Protocol in Costa Mesa, California. A little bit of my history. I was a competitive martial artist, personal trainer, and loved to work out. And that was, I just loved to move my body.
How good were you on the in martial arts?
Oh, martial arts. Let's see. At the time I stopped, it was just before my pregnancy and my accident. I was would have been ranked 6th in my forms and 5th in sparring nationwide.
Okay.
And I was trying to do even better than that. It was a work in progress still. And I always planned on training. And close to 10 years ago now, I was in an auto accident. I was rear-ended by 3 vehicles and had a brain injury. And since then, I've no longer been able to train. Where I'm at with it now, after quite a bit of healing, I'm still left with vision issues, inner ear damage, so that's left me with some balance issues and a whole slew of other things. But here today, I've been using the CRS system. QRS. Oops, I didn't have it over right. The QRS system. And I noticed I used it for the first time yesterday, and when I'm trying to navigate a room or a space, especially closed ones, that I don't have the issues that I did before. Before, it would be, the best way I could explain is maybe if you were drunk and tried to manage your way, through a field of things, chairs and furniture and whatnot. But it was pretty effortless today and yesterday after the first time that I tried it. So that's huge. It's exhausting trying to manage your way through your space and whatever it is that you're doing in life, and always constantly have to be figuring out which way is up and how big your space is that you have to move in. And maybe another better way I can explain it is having 30 teacups on your head, and you're trying to balance them when they're always moving this way and that, and you're trying to keep them balanced and work your way around space. But
so it worked out last night as well?
Yeah, I noticed it first thing, because I'm used to this new normal for me, and when I was walking in through the space yesterday trying to navigate that, a lot of times I have to put my hands on the wall to know where things are at. But I noticed yesterday when I left the building that I just walked around items easily, and it wasn't the effort that it was before.
Okay.
Like, oh, I remember this now.
And how long did it last?
That's normal.
Did it last till today, this morning?
It lasted till I woke up this morning.
Okay. And then this morning was back to
Yeah.
the old way. Mm-hmm. And then we just did a treatment again now.
Yes.
And did you get the effect again?
Yes, I did.
So
it's pretty awesome. That's a really good feeling.
So it's been how many years since you've been?
9. It'll be 10 years this coming fall.
Since you've kind of felt this.
Mm-hmm. Since I felt more normal, I guess. Yeah.
Oh. And how close to normal do you feel? At least with the balance.
At least with the balance? Oh. I'd have to do some of my old stuff again to know for sure, because the martial arts required a lot of balance.
Right.
When you're jumping in the air and spinning and coming back on your feet, and you're focused on a target, and you have multiple things happening all at once, and then to ask that of my body, over the last 10 years, that just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. But after.
But just balance for walking.
Just walking is
close
less
to normal,
effort.
or 50%
Yeah, I'd say close
there?
to normal. Maybe
70%?
70% there.
Okay, from 2 treatments.
From 2 treatments, yes.
Okay, not bad.
So that's not bad. That's a good day.
Yeah.
That's a good day.
Cool. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Back talking about the QRS.
Back talking about the QRS. It's been, let me see, I've been off the machine maybe 20 minutes now,
Okay.
And I'm still feeling improvement over my perception of space and navigating it. So that's,
Despite being off the machine.
yeah, despite being off the machine. It's been 20 minutes. I'm looking forward to see where I'm going to be at in, another 10 minutes, another 30 minutes.
So it's delayed improvement.
The improvement's continuing. Even though I'm off the machine, there's still, increments of improvement.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. No, at the Tillman by accident took place in Portland, Oregon, and I saw quite a number of doctors regarding it. One for my ear, for my eyes, who was a what do you want to call it, an instructor at a optometric school.
Okay.
A neuro-ophthalmologist.
Neuro-ophthalmologist.
A neuro-ophthalmologist and brain doctors, and also with a brain rehab center that wanted $70,000 for treatment, and I don't think they ever mentioned once about use of any kind of equipment. It was all going to be like, just
Training.
therapies to help me manage and cope with what I was left with.
Okay.
With my deficits and what have you, to coping mechanisms and strategies and things like that. Not so much about getting better.
Right.
It was just like, we're going to help you manage with what you've got, kind of a thing. And so that's what I was kind of told about my condition, that there would be some improvement over years, but that's where, wherever I was at that point, that's what I was going to be left with, and have a nice day and go home and hope you have a comfy couch. But yeah, I think this is a really good.
So far,
Yeah, the two times I've seen it, I feel better, and I notice improvements in how I feel and how I manage in my space, so to speak.
what they have to offer, or the system has to offer, doesn't seem like too terribly much.
No, it wasn't much at all. I mean, there was some vision therapies to try and that's what I want to say. I mean, it's kind of like a lot of management things, and things were tried, but not, I think I get fatigue issues and things still with them. Like doing some of the vision therapies and things like that, I think might be more effective in conjunction with equipment like this.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe working, some of the muscular issues of the eyes, but a lot of, and one of my eye doctors has said that, there's damage that goes on. You have so much vision occurs in the brain, not just here on the surface where the eyes are, but also in the brain center. So depending on what happened and nerve damage and things in the brain, that stuff can't really be addressed until, some of the brain issues are. So maybe in conjunction with, this kind of a therapy that addresses the brain issues, the vision therapy might be more effective.
Oh, definitely. Okay, thanks.
What did you notice when you did your first treatment after the first one? What kind of a difference did you notice?
I went back there and walked through there again, because that was like the biggest thing. I wasn't expecting that kind of reaction yesterday. I'm just so used to how I walk through space, and so I kind of, when I walked in, I did the usual thing. But when we walked out through
what happens when you normally walk through a space?
It's kind of hard to describe to someone who doesn't feel it. I manage it. It's effort. It's always trying to, I'm always calculating distance to this wall and where I put one foot over the other. Do I have to step over things like at home? If there's Legos and things like that on the floor, do I have to step over them or around them? How close am I to the wall is this? Am I going to trip over something that's going to fall? So it's just kind of managing my space, and I'm used to that. So when I walked in, I did my thing walking in, but on the way out, my body or my brain didn't go through that routine, I guess, if you want to say that. It was automatic.
Natural.
It was natural. It was
the way it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, the way it was 10, I remember this. It's like, that's different.
It's really
good.
It's really been 10 years.
It'll be 10 years in October. Yeah. The accident
Since it was
happened
that
October of 2002. Yeah.
Wow. Nice to be back for a little while.
It is. I want more.
I'll come
Greedy
every
that
day.
way. Yeah. So, just after just the second treatment, that was after one treatment yesterday that I noticed those results. So that's good. I'm curious, excited to see what else is in store.
Thank you.
I'm Ty Cannon. I spoke a little bit before about the QRS unit and how it helped my wife. One of the things that's really interesting, even after the very first session, she had a dramatic increase in her ability to balance and navigate things. She had a lot of spatial issues that are residual from the accident.
You're talking about with the QRS, right? The first treatment.
The first treatment with the QRS, and then when we came back and brought her in again, we had the same response again. She had a very positive response to it, really alleviated a lot of those symptoms that she's been living with for 10 years. So we're pretty excited about working with it. And what I was starting to explain was, one doctor explained it really, really well, that the way your brain functions, he said, think of it in terms of brain bucks. You have so many bucks you can spend in a day. And every day you're constantly expending energy. Even like right now as we're talking, you can hear the sound of the machine. There's a little bit of flickering of the lights, different things going on in the room. Your brain filters all that so that you can pay attention to what's going on in the room and stay in the moment. And this is burning energy. And anything that you can do that's going to help the brain to relax, and especially somebody that has an injury like that, is going to be huge throughout the course of their day. Because the problem with somebody that has a brain injury, by the time they get up, brush their teeth, take a shower, and have something to eat, they've already expended 90% of their brain bucks for the day. So anything that we can do to find ways to help the brain to cope and calm down a little bit it's going to have such a dramatic difference in the healing process for them. I can't say enough about it. I'm really excited about finding this for my wife, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how far we can go with it.
And as far as past history of going through this, 10 years ago,
we've had such a hard time finding anybody that gave us any really meaningful help. What happens when you have a head injury, there's really not a lot of help out there for someone like that. And then when you do find the therapies are based on, they accept that you have an injury, and they want you to kind of accept this is where you're at, and they're going to teach you coping skills to deal with this new level of normal for you. And we were really frustrated going through that. I've always believed there's things that can help. Over the years, we've found things that have been incredibly helpful. Unfortunately, none of them have been in the mainstream medical field. We've had to go outside looking for alternative things, and we've found some really great things.
what else besides the QRS have you?
The QRS, the other biggest thing that we found was working with people like Nick Delgado, making the link to the hormones and how that's affected in head trauma. A lot of people aren't aware of the fact that there's a direct relationship to hormone function in head trauma. When the head is impacted, the pituitary gland sits at the top of the base stem, and it gets jostled around in there, and it kind of throws it out. And the pituitary gland is the master gland. It kind of controls the signals for all your other hormone function. So when that's out of alignment, your hormones go out, and it makes healing and all kinds of things really difficult. I've had clients that they don't even realize that they're suffering from head trauma conditions. They'll start getting weight gain that they can't explain after a head trauma. Very, very common. And just a lot of other issues like that. So addressing her hormones has been huge. I would have to say that's the next biggest thing that we found. There's things, some of the things from the internal type styles of martial arts. I've worked with head trauma people and had amazing results with them and helping them restore various balance and functions, and teaching them how to think of their body in a little bit different way seems to have a really, really powerful effect on recovery.
The two majors. Okay. How fast was the Delgado Protocol?
We noticed difference when we started addressing our hormones within days to weeks.
Cool.
It was a pretty dramatic difference, and as long as we stay focused on that and do the testing on it, keep her hormones regulated out. She seems to function, fairly well. We're still working through some stuff, but that was a major difference. That's what got her to be able to get up and, function normally throughout the course of her day. She can drive now, which without the hormone therapy really didn't work out very well.
Wow.
So
the QRS, of course, will optimize the Delgado Protocol.
Yeah.
Optimize the uptake of that supplements and nutrients across the cells. So, all right, thanks, Ty.
I'd be comfortable, but I didn't do that yesterday. And I pointed that out to him, and he's like, oh, that is kind of cool. Because I haven't done that since the accident.
And what was that again?
Ty was taking some of the equipment off his arm, and he put his arm up like this to do it, and I was standing right in front of him. So his fist would have been about this close here. Was that 3-4 inches, something like that? And normally not really sure of where that is, if that makes sense visually.
Okay.
I'm not sure where his fist was. I would back up from it or flinch or move my head back. But since I knew exactly where it was and I was comfortable that it wasn't anywhere near my face, I just stayed right where I was. It didn't bother me.
Cool. Thank you.
That's big.
Is it?
That's big for me, yeah. Because normally just like walking around things, like under a tree branch, if you go for a walk and I'm not sure, when I'm coming up on it, the distance of it, I'll still duck down even though I have plenty of room.
Oh, really?
Things like that, yeah.
So again, you think it's the functioning or neuronal?
I don't know if it's the functioning or the speed or
Speed of transfer of information?
of information from what I'm seeing to my brain to coming back. I mean, because I knew exactly where his hand was, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, since I'm not really sure,
No, this is for.
I duck or move out of the way or step back
Mm-hmm.
to, put a hand, actually put, I put my hand on something to see actually where it is.
Okay.
Because I don't always, what I see is not always accurate. Like I've gone to where I think a post is, I've gone to lean on it and actually like falling because it wasn't where I saw that it was.
Really?
Or my brain,
Thought it was.
where my brain told me it was, it's really not there. So that's why I go and I touch things, and if I think of fist or something, a hand is too close to my face, I'll put my hand, and take a step back until I know where it's at. I put my hands on stuff a lot. So yeah, so the fact that I knew exactly where it was and I was comfortable standing where it was, I didn't flinch or react or step back or put a hand up, which is big. Especially I have a 12-year-old boy now who's always waving sticks and things around and stuff like that in the house, and I'm not sure exactly where that is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep a good 5 feet distance from him. So
Right.
I'm kind of curious to test that out too.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me tell my
Here, say your baby story again.
my baby story. I was at a baby shower, so just to kind of demonstrate that whole visual thing. There was everyone was in the kitchen cutting the cake and doing all that stuff, and I went to just go lean against what I thought was the wall in the entryway, and it wasn't where my brain told me it was or where I was seeing that it was, and proceeded to fall into the hallway and fall into a table, knock off lamps and picture frames that was in the entry of the house. It made a lot of noise. But I could have sworn, I just went up to the pole and just kind of did that thing where I thought it was there, and it totally wasn't there. So the fact that I didn't flinch when something was just a few inches from my face, that told me a lot.
Good.
Yeah, I just kind of lose my balance there for a second, but that's, but I'm tired. Now I'm all rested and relaxed. No, but feel rested, relaxed, but still more connected to my body, I guess.
Versus an hour ago?
Mm-hmm.
And what were you saying about some other things? Oh, sleeping better and,
Sleeping better, yeah. I think after my second treatment, I slept 11 hours that night. Usually I sleep, I'll sleep about 7, but it'll be kind of a rough 7. I wake up easily a lot. But yeah, 11 hours straight. That's pretty good.
and you're talking about how things usually, small things are cause an over-response. They're too much stimulation.
Yeah, too much stimulation, kind of hard to filter out if more than one thing is going, like if the TV's going on and someone's talking to me at the same time, I won't hear either things, and it's really irritating. I'll just put it that way, but I seem to be, like the noise from the
Vibration platform.
vibration platform didn't bother me once I was, on the treatment. I know my son was on it, and it didn't seem to irritate me so much.
And spatial walking ability, can I
Yeah.
follow you?
Yeah, better, because before, I don't know if it's really obvious, but like when I walk through places, I usually walk with like my hands like this, and I'll just kind of touch things. It's like going like Monk, if you ever watch the TV show. I'm just touching stuff. But that's kind of like to ground myself and see actually where things are actually at, because visually they're not always where they look to be. But yeah, I can pick up one foot and the other.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, I can, like step over things without holding on to something else.
And that wouldn't be possible an hour ago?
Not without asking a lot of my head,
Uh-huh.
if that makes sense. Without a lot of effort to balance and calling in all systems in, and not without a cost. Like maybe 5 or 10 minutes later after trying to navigate through a lot of stuff, it's exhausting.
Okay.
Just the effort that's involved in doing that. And this is much less effortful. I'm sure there's a better way to say that.
But you can
it's-
stand on one foot
I can-
normally?
Yeah, I can, but it's, it's everything in my body.
Is in synchrony? Much more in synchrony?
It's fighting each other constantly. Because the information that my ears and my eyes is incorrect. And that's 2 of your 3 balance systems.
Okay.
So my only one that really is correct is my proprioception. But to try and tell your eyes and your ears what it's feeling
Seeing.
and seeing are wrong and pay attention, it's a constant argument in my body.
Okay.
But and it's exhausting. But this is much less effort after being on the mat.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't tax my system to try and navigate through spaces.
Have you noticed any accumulation?
Not yet.
Because the last time you were on it a couple of days ago, or when was it?
It's been like 2 days, but it would last. I would see the effects of it throughout the rest of the day, and then like reset to my old stuff, and then come the next morning.
Okay. So it lasts about a day.
Yeah.
Back the next morning.
Yeah, but that's good.
So if you could hit it 3 times a day, and then in the morning you'd
Yeah.
be set.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Like after the other time, when it was in the morning, then we could go to the grocery store and do it. It wasn't as effortful. There wasn't the cost.
That's the next day.
That was that same day.
The same day.
There wasn't the cost to go to the grocery store.
Okay.
Bring groceries in, unpack them, find a space for this to go.
Well,
on that
we're doing
table.
it late today, so it'll be interesting to see how she does in the morning.
Yeah.
How long it'll last?
Yeah.
How if it carries over, because last time we did it was early in the day, and it helped her throughout the course of the day. Now she's going to be able to go to sleep and get some really good rest. So we'll see how she wakes up in the morning and see what that does.
Yeah. Excited.
Okay.
Turn my head this to look the direction I was walking, I would lose. The room would like swing to the left, swing right, and then refocus again, and
Say that again?
I don't know how to explain it in words that make sense.
You're kind of walking and you turn away
Well-
from where you're walking?
I don't do that, and I caught myself
takes
doing
time for
it
her
afterwards.
vision to catch up. So it's like if she turns and looks at something, she looks over here and then looks back. It's as my eyes sweep the room, I'm tracking everything as I go. Hers don't do that. She'll turn and then the image is still over here, and then it swings back around because it's taken time for her to catch it. And then she moves again, and the whole room's like bouncing around like a basketball on a court. And then it slowly brings
Like
itself back
visual
to
speed.
center. Yeah.
It's like my
Delayed.
brain's on
Delayed?
She's on dial-up.
DSL, and the rest of the world is on Wi-Fi. So that
Right,
little kind
right.
of blue bar at the bottom where your stuff is loading, that's what my brain does.
It's
Visually,
processing too slowly?
Visual processing is slower, audio processing is slower, and trying to find things is slower. So normally, like when I'm walking, I'm always looking where I'm walking, because seeing where space is between things like that. And I caught myself after I got off the mat that I was like looking this way, but
Still walking.
still walking. I wasn't looking where I was walking.
Yeah, she doesn't do what she just did.
I don't do that. I haven't done that in years. Because to like look at you and walk this way and then turn to look this way, what I would visually see would spin and wouldn't sync, and then things start spinning, and that's when I start holding onto walls and furniture.
So
it's
that's not
been-
happening.
No.
Did that happen the past couple of days? This is the first time, so maybe it's accumulative.
It's the first time I noticed that I was like doing something I haven't done in a long time, like
Okay.
looking one direction and walking another. So I felt like that at my foot, and it didn't weird me out.
Oh, turning your foot?
Yeah, I've caught the thing, and normally that information, once my brain perceived that there was information, something here, normally that would kind of trigger a,
There's no small reactions.
no. Well, like you were saying, that parasympathetic response it's
Right, well, you're in
it's
sympathetic
over-
overdrive.
I'm in overdrive all the time.
Right,
And normally something like that would have set that off, and I would have like grabbed the table for something like immediately.
So it slowed down your sympathetic
Mm-hmm.
and moved you more to relaxed parasympathetic.
It's awesome.
Thank you for helping us.
We're gonna just document the stuff, how I feel after I get off.
Every time she gets off.
Every
Just a
time I
few,
get off.
just a minute or two.
This is awesome. Okay, gosh, what was I saying? Just got off the mat. Let me see, it was fourth treatment.
Oh, yeah, the
Fourth-
mat.
The mat,
there.
fourth treatment now. And I feel like my balance systems, or what it takes to stay balanced, aren't as taxed, I guess is a good word. My sense of balance is better. It's not as much work to stay upright as it is on a normal daily basis. I mean, I feel like I could just get up and do a spinning jump kick.
That's pretty good. Do that again.
Do it again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, that's hard, just to hold it up and stay balanced. Everything's, hold it up.
Pretty cool to have that back again.
Very cool to have that back. It feels.
When's the last time you were able to do that?
And be able to hold it like that and extend it and not. It's been years. It's been years. And normally when I would do it, I'd want to be looking at the ground to do it, because it feels like the ground's always moving, but to do it without looking at the ground, that's pretty good. Feels good. I like that. He knows. It's been a long time since he's seen me do anything
Yeah,
like
she
that.
hasn't been able to do that since the accident.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's good.
I've never
Do that again.
That's good.
I have never seen her attempt to turn like that in a room.
No, not even want to
That
try
is,
it.
she does not do that. She would never try and turn around
No.
like that.
I still I get scared to do, but to even want to do. It's been a long time. I had to practice on it, but no, that's good.
As
And
good
the-
as good as yesterday, or do you
be
see
accurate.
improvements? As good as yesterday, or do you see accumulative improvements?
I see accumulative improvements.
You think so?
I mean, there's little things that I want to try and do that I didn't that I think I can attempt to do that I didn't the day before. Like after 3 treatments, after 2 treatments. It's like, well, I feel good. I'm going to try this today.
I can see a big difference in just seeing how she stands.
How I move.
Her confidence as far as where she's
Yes.
at in the room.
Yeah,
She doesn't have that look of she's, waiting for something to push her over.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just like the little things. Like you said, the confidence to even attempt something like that and not be worried or concerned that it's going to send me off into the spins or something like that. I mean, just that alone.
yeah. Well, yesterday when she was walking and she turned her head the opposite direction, that was something I haven't seen her do, since the accident, because you can tell there's a lot of thought in every single step that she
Yeah.
would take. And I can tell watching her now, she's willing to kind of take those steps and let her attention, go on to other things that like we all take for granted.
Yeah, I noticed walking out to the truck last night, it was almost effortless. I mean, it's like, it's kind of hard to explain, but just the effort that I use to walk through a room and just to walk, making dinner it's effortful. Because there's always trying to maintain balance, not sure where things are, and but to be able to just hold a conversation and walk at the same time, it's a big deal. It's a lot for my head to do, and so I just, because I need a lot of my energy and a lot of my attention to walk or stand upright, I don't have a lot left over for other things. Filtering out a 12-year-old boy is a big task. Trying to walk and listen and do all that other stuff. So yeah, it's a big deal. That's a very big deal.
Continued improvements.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was day 4
Yes, this is 4th treatment.
on the mat,
On the
QRS
mat.
mat, not the pelvis center.
Not the
mat,
pelvis center, just the mat alone.
QRS mat, which is over here.
Yes.
The chair, I noticed a difference in my balance from being on the chair.
What if that would address proprioception?
Well, I think it does, because like I said, I've noticed a difference in my balance.
From sitting in the chair?
From sitting in the chair. Yeah, the last few months I've had issues. There's one of the exercises that I do. It's like, I won't go through the whole thing, but you go through the form and then you come out and you have to be able to stabilize your head. I've had a lot of problems with this lately. And since I've been in the chair, I can hold these positions now. And I'm not working as hard to to maintain my balance and make all the little adjustments you need to do. So whatever it's doing, since I've been sitting in the chair, it's helped a lot.
Cool. Thanks. Say that again.
Well, no, when she went through all the different evaluations after the accident, the neurologist, she couldn't figure out how she was able to stand up. And they attributed it to the fact that her sense of balance was so far beyond the average person's from all of her, martial arts training and competitions and everything, that it knocked her down to where, she could still walk around. Had she not had that ability before, it would have been a lot more difficult for her to recover from this. So, she was in good physical condition before, and that really helped her a lot with her recovery. Even though it's taken a long time, it's still, the muscle memory is still there.
I mean, I muscle through it. I muscle through staying upright. I muscle through walking places and things like that. But it's kind of hard to explain. It's not. I don't have to muscle as much. It's more like the ease with which I did it before, when it was natural, and my brain didn't have to work so hard to do the things I used to do.
So it's somehow speeding up the transfer of signals through the
Processing.
nerves and brain processing combo, making the nerve cells work like they used to.
A team.
Yeah.
They haven't been
Synchrony.
a team for a while.
Right. No synchrony.
No. It fell out of sync.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.